Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Juno Hana and I am here today to talk about hysterectomies. I am on day 4 of having a hysterectomy. And as you can see, I'm doing pretty good. I was very scared to get this procedure done for multiple reasons. The main reason why I did this was because I was experiencing extreme period pain throughout my entire life of having a period. And since I was little, I had to skip school and I would scream into a pillow and I would just overdose on Advil and Tylenol and ibuprofen and whatever else I could get my hands on. And then once I had children, things started to get a little easier. When I was nursing and whatnot, it wasn't that bad. My periods were very light. But then once my children got older, the periods got worse. They got heavier. And I actually went through a very difficult divorce recently, and I do believe that a lot of it is associated with trauma. I was diagnosed with PMDD. If you don't know what that is, it's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. People also suspect that maybe I have some PCOS association too, which I feel like PMDD and PCOS have a lot of, I think it's POCS, no, PCOS. But I feel like both of them have a lot in common. There's just different complexities to each one, and I truly believe that I fit more the category of PMDD, just because a lot of it is mood related, emotional related, hormones. I do break out here and I get the chin hairs you can do with the common signs with PCOS, but for the most part it's been a struggle. It feels like a rain cloud just falls over my head, and I struggle with mental fog. I am very short fused, I am irritable, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And especially after I just went through a very traumatic divorce, I said enough is enough. So I decided to do away with my uterus, and I said peace out uterus. And I was very scared to get this because I actually had a surgery about 6-7 years ago now, where I had an incision done right here. I had multi-level disc replacement done in my neck after a car accident, but I also have this thing called Klippel-Feil syndrome. I have fusion on the top of my neck, and I have all kinds of weird deformities going on, and I have a bicornuate uterus, which means my uterus is heart-shaped, which I didn't find out till after having 2 children, which I think is just nuts. But anywho, because of my bicornuate uterus, I couldn't get an ablation, so that was out of the option. I couldn't get an IUD for the same reason, and so I was kind of left with just choosing to get this hysterectomy. I kept my ovaries in, so it's considered a partial, but I guess in doctor terms they don't really call it a partial. I don't know what else they call it, but whatever. But I did keep my ovaries because there was studies I did as far as going into menopause, which I do feel like I was already going into perimenopause, right before this, and get some hot flashes and just weird things hormonally were happening, and I just knew that it was off, and I'm like, okay, I'm 43 now, so it would make sense that I was entering into that. So I don't know if this is going to essentially accelerate my perimenopause into menopause because I still have my ovaries. We'll see how I do next month. I will keep you guys updated, but I do have some videos of my first 3 days. The first day was brutal. I am not going to hold back. It was brutally painful. Now, mind you, I am super sensitive to pain, anything down there. And it's really funny because when I had this neck surgery, I was fine the day I got home. I was pretty good. The only issue I really had with my neck surgery actually was my vocal cords. I ended up getting vocal cord paralysis, and I have to get vocal injections on a regular basis from 6 to 9 months, pretty much I think now for the rest of my life, which is not fun because everybody needs your voice, and you would not believe how much when you lose your voice, how much you feel like you're losing part of your identity. It made me very depressed, and I felt like Ariel. But needless to say, I was nervous for that. I was just scared to get intubated for this surgical procedure. It took about 3.5 hours, and I literally just passed out and woke up, and they threw me in a wheelchair, and off I went out the door. So, and once I got in that truck, I was screaming. It was not fun. It literally felt like there was a weed whacker thrown inside of me, and it was not cool. And then I went home and I had teeth chattering pain. I stayed with my aunt that day, and I really struggled to just keep anything down. I was throwing up. And like I said, I have sensitivity to pain. Like, we did an endometrial biopsy before I had this hysterectomy, and even the biopsy, I was screaming in pain, and I think I traumatized my doctor. I feel so bad. But I was kind of expecting myself to be in a lot of pain at first, but hoping that it would be temporary, which it was. By the time I woke up on the next day, which was Tuesday, I was feeling tremendously better. I could move, I could function. It felt like period cramps, like period cramping pain. I definitely feel like my muscles are loosened. I feel a little like jiggly on the belly. They did a robotic incision with a Da Vinci robot. So I have these really small incisions. I'm gonna show you. Woo! Like, and so I already took all the bandages off, but so there's one, and then it went through my belly button, and then there's another one right here. So I've been putting some Aquaphor on them, and they're healing. But this is day 4, you know, and I'm like already impressed with the healing process. Now I'm really curious to see what happens when my monthly cycle comes next month, because I got this right after I finished my period, so I won't have my cycle until next month, and I'm guessing I'm not going to bleed, but I wonder what's going to happen hormonally. Am I still going to have struggle? Am I still going to have cramps? Am I still going to have all this PMDD symptoms? I don't know. Like, and so my doctor was saying too, after he did the scope and he sent me pictures of it, I actually uploaded all of my pictures to ChatGPT to have ChatGPT analyze it, and they did notice there was some fairly large to mid-sized fibroids. So that is like really all that they found. There was no endo. I did get a biopsy done and then sent to the lab for some things, I guess, which I'll find out later. And if you hear me gasping, that is my vocal cord. I need an injection. So I held off on getting my injection until after surgery so that I wouldn't have to worry about it getting jarred up prior. But yeah, by day 2 I was okay. Day 3, like, I woke up last night with some sharp stabby pains. It's almost kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but you ever had like a, you know, a boo-boo or like, you know, a big old scab, and then it's not itchy, but it's kind of like this stingy feeling, like, you know, it's in the healing process of things, but it's not in full recovery mode. Like, that's kind of like what I felt last night. It was just like these stinging sharp pains throughout the night. I do get pretty tired, like, pretty quickly. Like, I might even just take a nap here soon. I've been up since 7 and I've been going on the computer all day. So, but overall, I'm happy that I did it, and I'm glad that this is over with, and hopefully moving forward, I can not have to deal with extremely heavy, painful periods, because it wasn't just all of the other stuff, with the, you know, brain fog, short-term memory loss, like, literally it was so bad, but it was also severe period pains and heavy bleeding. So, like, you know, I'm not going to miss not having that. So hopefully, you know, by next month I can give you an update and give you another 2 thumbs up. But here are some clips from my first couple of days.
This pain is insane. The question is, am I in pain? I'm in pain. Pain tolerable? It's painful. My mouth is like sandpaper from everything. I'm eating Tortilla chips, and I'm in a lot of pain. I did pee, and it stung, but I did it. And they had this wrap on me, but I can't do it right now. It hurts. On my waist, a little wrapped around thing that would go here, but I took it off. It hurts.
Day 2 of my hysterectomy, and I am feeling a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was brutal. I like threw up all day,
and had excruciating pain, and like the medicine just kept coming up and it was not cool. But today I feel much better, and I'm going to shower eventually, and it's still very sore and I'm like very bloated. I have these incisions, I have to keep the tape on, but he said I could peel off the band-aids, which I've been doing, a few of them. But yeah, very bloated, very sore. And but I think by like tomorrow I'll be able to just like get around and function pretty normally. Obviously I'm not supposed to lift anything for some time. I think he said 2 weeks I can start picking things up, but then about a month is when I can actually function normally again and go swimming and whatnot. So he said I can go in the water, but don't try to swim or anything. Obviously, now, yeah, I just peeled the band-aids off. I just went through my bee-boo, my belly button.
Hi, day 3 of hysterectomy. I got up and moving and I actually closed on the sale of my house post-divorce today. So that was a huge achievement because it's been literally like dragged on for months. So it's great to just finalize this last chapter. But I think the stress of everything afterwards is causing me a little bit of discomfort. I just started getting like sharp stabbing pains, and I took medicine, but I don't want to keep taking it. So I'm sitting on my heating pad, gonna try to rest. And yeah, I get pretty tired pretty quickly, but they do advise you to move. And yesterday my shoulder and all this up here was like killing me from the gas or whatever they put in. That has now subsided, so that's good. And yeah, I'm on the mend. I feel like by next week, like I will be able to like function normally, just not doing anything extreme, you know, like still keeping it light, but like I won't be so winded and so like oof right away. Like it just feels like nasty period cramps right now. And that's my kitty cat's tail. Hi, Nova.